Okay, so I will be using the article that I used for my presentation for disability sports, and the article I'll be using is Educating Students with Severe Disabilities Through Inclusive Pedagogy and a Physical Education. So yeah, okay, so I mean, one of the main parts I know is just annotating this, which is the extra credit. But the first part, well, I think one of the most important parts is the actual like highlighting portion, like what we need. Like I can see right here, like I already highlighted this, but we can re-highlight it by bringing the cursor down to like what sentence we need. And then we'll come like up here and we'll be like, actually, I want a different color. So you can choose a different color. You can do like little sections for it, like I think this was like a key point, and like what this was trying to say, like these are the two main ones, and then we can go down here and do like a little like, like I think this is also important, but like I need a different color for this section because it is one of the key points, but it's not, but it's going to further detail. So I'll be like, I like this section better than all the other ones, so I'm gonna highlight this as green, and like what I want to add to like the comments that you want to put. So going into that, so the comment portion is where we can go over here, like, like I want to add a comment here. Like you can do it like for just one of the words, or like over here, like, I highlight this, but I want to do a summary, so I can just highlight like a word or something and just like explain like, this was more of like talking about how an IEP, like going to the meetings are good, like going to IEP meetings and getting more information about the student helps. Or you can ask questions like, let's see. It's really just the same thing. Okay, you'd be like, why would she see? Why does she see that now? Why does she see floating island now? See, like you can ask questions on this, you can highlight portions, and then like other things we can do is like, do I need this, like, do I need this whole section of like a certain part, or like does this not help with what I'm trying to say? Like I'd be like, I think this is just too wordy, so I'm gonna like strike through it. Wrong things. So I'm gonna strike through it, like, I don't need that information anymore. Or we can just get rid of that, and then we'd be like, like maybe it is important, so maybe I should just underline it for now and see what I'll need later from it. Or you can italicize it, like, this could also be part of an important part, or just like names of certain things that you need. And then you could also use bold, like this is really important, like, or you can just do it for titles, like, like I need this title, like, for our assignment for the annotation, like we needed discussion, so I'd be like, this is an important part of the rubric, like this is a key point talking about the overall thing. So yeah.